It's very hard. Trying to get food for twins, clothing, people always ask how it is with twins and tell them it's 2 babies at once, so it's double the diapers, double everything. I mean, just last night, both twins went to potty, and it's, I'm done, so then you gotta go and wipe one, go wipe the other.
Masada Ellis is a father of 4. His youngest, Manar and Mahir, are 5 years old. They go to a Head Start program in San Diego, free childcare for families who qualify.
It's helped a lot because we can't afford it. Right now, being a disabled veteran, I was able to get a 0 down loan for a home. And then the price of everything from COVID went up. Inflation went up. The cost of living adjustment hasn't hit Southern California. Right now, San Diego is the #1 place, the most expensive city to live.
Head Start is federally funded. Money goes to several local nonprofits who provide the child care.
Things that Head Start teaches them are fundamentals that we feel like the necessity to be great kids. I had a friend ask me how smart was my kids, and I told him I'm not worried about them being smart right now. I'm worried about them being kids and learning essentials, and I believe they're pretty smart with how they empathize for people. Once you teach caring for people, they can learn the basis of arithmetic and writing.
Masada's twins were able to get into the program when they were 2 years old. It helped his family even more after COVID shuttered their event planning business.
What they really learned in Head Start and what it really helped us with is how to be people, because our kids are pandemic kids. And if people don't know what that means that they were in the house the whole time. They only saw me, mommy, and that's pretty much it, and their elder brother. They didn't see everybody outside. So when they came to Head Start, it helped them learn how to adapt to the world and be familiar with people.
Families like Masada's can get funds for childcare, but they have to make a low income to qualify. That leaves many families in a chasm. They make too much to get help, but not enough to actually afford childcare.
I would say the system is not ideal. There are many legislated hoops that parents have to jump through to be able to access the dollars.
Kim McDougal and Courtney Baltiskyy advocate for childcare for the San Diego County YMCA.
We're seeing more, at least state legislators, who are willing to understand what some of those hoops are and at least try to dismantle some of the cumbersome systems that are barriers for families.
Just over a third of kids in California met the criteria in 2020, but there's just one bar for the entire state, which means in expensive places like San Diego, far more families likely need help.
If we can set a rate that is a local rate that is set at a reasonable level for the community and the cost of living, and really includes those chasm families, which it'd be a different income level in San Diego than it would be in Imperial County, than it would be in rural California. Then we can really capture that segment of the population that really has no other option. They cannot pay for it and they cannot access the subsidy.
Advocates have worked to reduce the fees families have to pay, even if they get subsidized care, and make the process of signing up much easier.
We fundamentally believe every child should have access to the type of care that meets their needs and their family's needs without having to jump through hoops and prove anything, right? This is a universal benefit we believe every family should be able to access, and families that are already in stressful situations because they're struggling financially, or because they're maybe a single mom, or because they're facing stress in their community. That added layer of then, proof that they have to provide to be able to access the child care subsidy just increases the level of stress that they experience in life, which impacts their parenting, which impacts their life, which impacts their career.
One of Head Start's barriers of entry is simply optics. Some families who would qualify for the program just don't know it exists as an option for them. Masada has seen this firsthand.
Last year in, I believe, February, I went to a conference and I was out eating with my spiritual mom and dad. And they told me their waiter, they see him all the time, and they say he's such a great person. He talked to me and he told me he had a 2-year-old, and I was like, wow. And he's like, yeah, but it's hard out here. And I told him about Head Start and early education, and he had no idea about it. He started crying right there, and I was so shocked to see that he was crying because he understood that now he can have help and he didn't have to worry about working so much. It's just hard for a lot of people out here. It's very hard for a lot of people out here.
In San Diego, families can go to childcaresandiego.com to check their eligibility for subsidies. The experience with Head Start has been so positive for Masada and his children that he's now fighting for an expansion of the program.
It was just natural to want to give back and see all the families that they help. My kid goes to school and he starts counting and I'm like, that's not Spanish and it's Tagalog. And I'm like, whoa, you know how to count to 10 in Tagalog? Okay, wow. Then he counts to 10 in Spanish and I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then it's in English and I'm like, that's supposed to be. Come to find out, my kids have friends that are African. They have friends that are Dominican, Puerto Rican, all kind of Latin different friends, and they don't know anything. They just know that they speak a different language, and it's so cool that they want to learn it too.
He's gone as far as Washington with his message.
I was in Washington advocating, and I texted a friend, and she said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm in Washington advocating for early education." And she said, "Could you tell Congress people that there are people out here who are staying in abusive relationships because they can't afford to live single out here in San Diego, only by themselves or with a child or two is very hard." So my message is to anyone who's listening to always look into early education and to let's make this world better for all of us. I felt like I have a voice and I could use my voice and my platform to be heard and seen by people that need to hear and see other people who can't be heard.